Here is the massive announcement that was yesterday. So, if you don't know, a lot of people were waiting for the massive Taylor Swift announcement yesterday. It was one of the most anticipated announcements of the year. After a whole year of basically nothing at the music industry outside of a few albums and songs, this year has basically been the most dull and boring year in music history. Yes, the it is probably like even Wikipedia has a look at the Wikipedia article of oh songs with most number ones on the Billboard chart of 2025, and even they said it was the worst and most stagnant years so far. It's probably on par with 2023 with how stagnant of a year it was. 2023 was truly a very stagnant year in music as well. Okay, like it was a very it took to the end of the year for songs to really reach the list, and most of the songs Anti-Hero came out in 2022 as well. Okay, yeah, but yeah, 2023 was such a year in music as well. Okay, like, but I think 2025 is even worse because it's just there hasn't really been any major hits this year. It's just the unfortunate reality of current music. Even like articles like why is 2025's biggest hits all 2024's biggest hits? Like, is something going on here? Okay, and yeah, but now 2025 music has finally been saved. So the only really successful album so far this year is Morgan Wallen's album. Yes, in the US. Globally, I think Mayhem did very well, but in the US, the only truly successful albums I think was Morgan Wallen's new album, Mayhem, and of course the K-pop Demon Hunters album as well. Of course, there were probably other albums that were released this year as well, but yeah. There has been almost little to no movement on the charts, with a huge number of songs released in the previous year, making it one of the most stagnant years in music as well. But it seems that this most stagnant year in music has finally been saved. Whether you like Taylor Swift's music or hate it, you gotta realize that, something's finally coming out this year that will actually sell copies outside of Morgan Wallen's album. Okay, like, when Morgan Wallen released his new album, his song still went straight to number one as well. Okay, yeah, and I think that it'll kind of pick up like Drake's releasing a new album, even though Drake's songs didn't really chart too well. Justin Bieber released his album as well. Okay, and also we have several other major singers releasing albums this year as well for like the past couple of months, for the last couple of months as well. But excuse me. But when it comes to music, it has been extremely dull. With artists like Beyonce and Billie Eilish probably not releasing any songs until 2026 as well. Well, it seems that most major artists are not really, And also, Ariana Grande probably won't be releasing any new music until 2026 as well. Yeah. But yeah. It is kind of insane that Taylor Swift is able to write a whole new album within a year. Don't worry, Chapel One will take her sweet time of 5 years waiting for a new album, and then she'll become so irrelevant in music. Like most artists, they release an album every 2 to 3 years because they don't want to become irrelevant and forgotten about. Okay, they don't want to become the next one-hit wonder that no one remembers. 5 years in. Okay, and they lose like 90% of the fan base. Let's look at what happened to Ward. Okay, Ward had like one of the number one albums of 2014. Okay, best-selling albums 2020. That's right, for 2014 as well. Ward had one of the best-selling albums of 2014. Oh yeah, 8 years later, no one bought Ward's second album. Okay, no one listened to it. Okay, no one cared. Okay, as well. Okay. Yeah, Ward's album was in the top 10 of that year, and it was a very steep competition as well. Okay, you had Ed Sheeran, you had Coldplay, you had One Direction, AC/DC, Pink Floyd as well. Okay, and Yeah, 1980. Did 1989 release in 2015 or 2014? I actually don't know. I think it was. Oh, it was 2014. Yeah, but we'll wait to see. Oh yeah, 1989. Yeah, released at the end of 2014. So it probably would have made the list considering it released at the end of the year, end of 2014. But yeah, best selling albums of 2024, 2014 as well, which is throughout the year as well. I'm surprised 1989 still didn't make the list because it was a very popular album as well. Okay, but yeah, let's look at Ward. Okay, you know, I'm just surprised. I'm actually even more surprised because some of these albums released in the end of the year as well. But yeah, I'm surprised that 1989 isn't on this list as well. Yeah. Okay, 1989 sold 14 million albums in 2014. So that Wikipedia list is wrong, like always. But yeah, Ward had one of the best-selling albums of 2014 as well, and you know, 3 years later, he became basically forgotten. So that's why you have to actually release your albums like Taylor Swift is doing. And I would like it's just insane. See, she just released an album last year, and she made this album this year, which is after the tour. I think this album is gonna be related to the Eras tour, as well. That's why the album is called "The Life of a Soul Girl" because a lot of the songs in this album will probably be related to the Eras tour as well, and her memories with the Eras tour as well, which you never really had. I don't really think there's many albums that really talk about concerts too much, but yeah. This is gonna probably be 1989 part, basically two. Okay, it's gonna be a huge album that sells tens of millions of copies globally, as well. And it will probably be the best-selling album of 2025 if we're all being considered. Okay, because there has been literally almost nothing released in 2025. Okay, literally almost. I think the best-selling album currently of 2025 is Mayhem. Globally, it sold like 6 million copies globally as well. Okay, 6 million copies, which is still a lot, but I think that of course this album will probably easily pass the 10 million copies sold. Okay, it'll probably easily pass the 10 million copies, easily, and of course it'll probably easily pass Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce's the second next album because we all know Beyonce's probably making more of a terrible music. But yeah, Mayhem has sold 5.2 million. Okay, it's not. I thought it was 6 million. Well, last time, unless Google didn't update it. But yeah, Mayhem sold 5.2 million copies globally, and yes, it seems that Mayhem may no longer be the best-selling album of 2020, released in 2025 as well. So Lady Gaga fans will probably not be too happy about this release as well, given the fact that they probably are hoping that they would be number one. But hey, it is a breath of fresh air in this dead year of music, this completely dead year. I know like Bad Bunny released a new album as well, and that sold pretty well. The Weeknd's album sold pretty well as well. But you gotta be telling me here, okay? No, like this year obviously needs something new. I think Taylor Swift saw the Billboard chart and said, okay, we can release this album in 2026 and compete with Billie Eilish, Beyonce, and Ariana Grande, which will probably release new albums in 2026. Or we can release it in the completely dead year of 2025 and have the number one album of 2025 with no competition as well. Okay, who are other artists releasing in 2025? I gotta see 2025 music. Okay. That's 2025 in music altogether, okay? What else is releasing in the third and fourth quarter, okay? So, August, what else is releasing? The Sabrina Carpenter's album as well, okay? Samba's album, which will probably be big because of TikTok, okay? Yeah, there are still songs and albums that are doing very well because of TikTok as well. I actually listened to Samba's song. I listened to it once and never listened to it again as well, okay? It was still good. It still was a good listen. It was not a bad song, okay? It was called like Back to Friends. It was not a bad song. It was still a good song, but it was still a good song. So I'm not saying it was a bad song. Yeah, I just listened to it once, okay? And so then Sabrina Carpenter's album. I said like actual like big artists. DJ Snake had some pretty big hits in the past, but rap isn't as popular as it used to be. So yeah, Callum Scott he had like one really popular album, but I don't really know any of his songs. So yeah, 21 Pilots but 21 Pilots isn't really as popular as it used to be. Cardi B, 19th, Laura Young. Is that the literal name of the album? I know Laura Young has a small part, not small fan base, but she's not really that big of an artist as well. Okay, um, you have Kanye West's garbage album, Bully. I don't think anyone's gonna be listening to that. Okay, it probably had that crappy Hitler song on there too. Okay, Zaza Lawson that will probably flop. I know like Midnight Sun is like doing okay, but it's not. She's not a major artist. I know there are some people like basically making out like she's this huge artist, but she isn't. Okay, as well. Okay, you know, and yeah, October. Oh, Monsters and Men is back. No one's excited for that because no one listens to Monsters and Men. So and yeah, Taylor Swift's album is gonna be releasing sometime I think before October 14th. As well, because that's what they said the shipping date will be. And November, there's really nothing releasing. There were Zach Brown Brand will probably do well, but that will be his music will be drowned out by the amount of Christmas songs at that time. So that's what this video here. Goodbye.